V2k, known as voice to skull, remote neural monitoring, or better known as directed energy weapons that emit microwave frequency at the target's location. These type of weapons are typically used for military and police crowd control. This is called dazzling. Constant attack symptoms include constant tinnitus, robotic like ringing in the ears. For you installations or radio frequency Faraday cage will sometimes make tapping sounds or may slightly move due to these attacks. Targets will feel random sharp pain or decay through your internal body organs, muscle tissue decay, heart muscle pain, spinal cord and back pain, vertebrae pain, random headaches, head injury, buzzing in the head, humming in the head, rumbling in the head. Sometimes you will notice clicking or popping noises in the head. And I'm going to play an example sound so that you can hear what it sounds like. Targets that are under attack by these type of directed energy weapons, they will have a tendency to break out of random itchy rashes on various parts of the body. Your electric bill is increased without reason due to the directed energy attacks. Your household amps are slightly increased. LED light bulbs are blown out or become malfunction randomly. Lights start to flicker in your house or become randomly dimmed. Your dreams are manipulated, or your dreams feel like you're in a computer simulation. You start to have strange nightmares. You might wake up to hearing music in your sleep or voices in your sleep. Or while you're awake, you might hear voices as if someone is there talking to you. You start to see flashes in your eyes, especially when it's dark. That's because people are seeing what you are seeing out through your eyesight. Crusts start forming at the corner of your mouth. Crusts may form at the corner of your eyelid. Fast dehydration. You may wake up to a funny metallic taste in your mouth. You might wake up due to late night sweats. House pets will start to act funny. You start to experience random rectum burning sensation or random orgasm sensation. Burning in the hair, mainly on the top of your scalp. Yeah, I done experienced all that. These radio laser beams from 300 megahertz to 300 gigahertz frequency, they can even reach the terahertz that penetrates the skin 1/4 of an inch. Rather, if it is being emitted from overhead satellites, cell phone towers, or devices that are placed in your neighbors' homes to have a close range attack on you in your home. 5G is also a weapon used to read your EEG brainwave data, your electroencephalogram, and generate a 3D image of you and whatever is living in your environment. There is a private app or a streaming service that all perps use to know your thoughts or to know your whereabouts. They can see through your eyes as if there was cameras, and they can hear what you hear, and it is being broadcasted and streamed to a private server. This is how they know your whereabouts at all times. The actual gang stalking tactics that is taking place and the predicted moves before you actually make your move. This is then considered conducive ill torture and an invasion on one's person's personal privacy. Remote neural monitoring symptoms also include funny eyesight vision, double eyesight vision, or when you instantly turn your head, your eyesight vision becomes blurred, or you become dizzy. Okay, remote neural monitoring tracking is using you as a GPS tracking device so gang stalkers can better stalk you 24/7. Organizations that take part in illegal gang stalking activity is typically human trafficker, occult, Jehovah's Witness, Orisha, Catholic, sex occult, Freemasons, Scientology, the FBI, the CIA, and even COINTELPRO. Most of them are being paid under the table either by gift cards or illegal cryptocurrency. This organized gang stalking program was created by the CIA to use immigrants as pawns from South America to take part in the illegal, tyrannical shadow government activities under the table. Because if they happen to get caught, they can easily be deported and use someone else outside of the country to take part in treasonous crimes against the American people. They even use immigrants to transport their classified materials or tech for them or to place them in certain commanded locations. Satellites play a huge role in organized gang stalking. This is how perps know where you are located at all times as far as tracking is concerned. Tracking frequencies is usually done around 360,000 to 350,000 megahertz. This is how they know who to send to stalk you and at the precise timing. According to targetedjustice.com, Lockheed Martin Corporation is involved in the targeted individual program. The truth is stranger than fiction, but you can pull up over 100 patents off of the web that proves that this classified technology in fact does exist and it is being used on the American public without the American public's consent. This indeed violates the Fourth Amendment, making this a treasonous crime to humanity. Fusion centers are also being used to communicate between different agencies and as well as the perp gang stalkers. Fusion centers claim they are designed to promote information sharing at the federal level between agencies such as the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the state and local and tribal law. Satellites that are able to perform remote neural monitoring are government military satellites. Their main operations hub for command is in Schriever U.S. Air Force Base in Colorado, which is a space force where they regulate and remote control these satellites. These attacks aren't just happening to the American public. They are happening worldwide to millions of civilians who happen to be targeted individuals. Remedies that are suggested for targeted individuals that are being attacked by microwaves, such as directed energy weapons. I recommend working out and drinking lots of alkaline water because it is electrolyte that can replenish the body's nervous system energy. Try to stay hydrated as much as possible. Magnesium citrine helps the nervous system, as well as lion's mushroom. That helps too. Try to meditate and try to eat a lot of green foods that contain energy to electrolyze the body. Cover your home or wherever you lay at with foil insulation to bounce some of the harmful radio frequencies. Try not to sleep near windows. Get you an electromagnetic frequency meter to get the overall readings of the radiation in your environment. Listen to high brainwave entrainment frequency music with earplugs. X-ray hats. Try to use a Tesla coil to distract some of the radiation tracking frequencies. Other remedies include ignore perps. Go ghost on perps. Don't answer any questions. Don't give any info about your next move or your whereabouts. Get a new phone. Don't answer any phone calls you're unfamiliar with. Get a smartphone with a removable battery. Try to keep your phone off in public places unless there's an urgent emergency. Don't leave smartphones unattended in public places. When charging phones in public areas, don't use USB ports. Try to use your own charging source. When connecting to Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, be mindful about what you're connected to and also be mindful about your surroundings. Change contact info. Give little or better yet no info at all. Try not to tell strangers any of your business. Be mindful about friendly strangers, especially the ones that might approach you. Home security remedies. Install wired CCTV cameras. Don't use nothing wireless because they can easily be hacked. Install a wired alarm system. Sensor trail cameras that are tamper proof. Get a bug detector to locate any hidden bugs in your home or in your car. Install tamper-proof locks on doors and windows. Install a UPS system, uninterrupted power source, to all of your security equipment. This will ensure that nothing is being tampered with, as well as in case of a power outage, your equipment will still be up and running and operational as it's supposed.
Request, a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act request, to the Fusion Center in Washington State. They partner, of course, with Homeland Security and the big law enforcement surveillance state, and said, I'd like to get some information on Antifa and white supremacist groups. And instead, what they sent him was this. Take a look at these pictures here. Scroll down a little bit. There's a bigger picture further down. It's a diagram, and it starts talking about electromagnetic effects on the human body. And it talks about psychoelectric weapons. Yeah, we've got, openly, Barack Obama spent $200 million on his brain project with DARPA. Yeah, let's see if we can hack into people's brains. Let's see if we can take away memories or implant false memories. And let's see if we can do it wirelessly. That's their big push right now. They don't want to have to, take you in and jack into the back of your neck like the Matrix, or do an operation and stick a probe in your head. No, they want to be able to do it remotely, wirelessly, without your perception. And so when you look at this diagram, they've got a human body there. And here's some of the creepy things they've got pointing at it. One of them, forced memory blanking and induced erroneous actions. Another one, forced manipulation of airways, including externally controlled forced speech. They can make you say stuff that you don't want to say. Forced nudging of arm during delicate or messy work, causing injury or spills. Forced precision manipulation of hands, sometimes synced to the forced walking visions. They give you microwave hearing. So you can hear voices. Transparent eyelids. I don't know what that is. Transparent eyelids? Artificial tinnitus, ringing in your ears. All this stuff. They're bragging about how they can do this. They call it the psychoelectronic weapon effects. And they got a little footnote down there that said, the first unclassified successful transmission of the human voice directly into the skull of a living person was performed by Dr. Joseph Sharp of the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research in 1974. Well, that's the first unclassified successful thing. Now, they've had classified stuff before that. And as I pointed out before, Michael Aquino, a creepy figure in and of himself. He kind of looks like Eddie Munster, even more so than Paul Ryan. Far more so than Paul Ryan, actually. And this is a guy who openly went on the Oprah Winfrey Show talking about how he was a Satanist. He had the Temple of Set in California and things like that. But he was somebody who worked for the NSA. And he had no problem going on with all of his satanic cult stuff on the Oprah Winfrey Show. He was alleged to have committed child abuse, alleged pedophile, at the Presidio in California, the military base there. He escaped prostitution. He escaped prosecution. And because, he's connected with people. Again, he worked for the NSA. And he wrote a book in 1980 called Mind War. And in that book, he talked about how they could use extremely low frequency to control people, control their minds. And you look at the stuff I just read to you. Forced memory and forced movement of arms and forced speaking and all this kind of stuff. This is way beyond the MK Ultra program, Catcher in the Rye, and LSD, folks. This is far more sophisticated. They've had decades to work on this stuff. And he wrote this book called Mind War in 1980, where he said, right, we can use extremely low frequency on people, get them to do things. And then you remember, I brought this up when we had the Navy Yard shooter, because he was shooting people. He'd been complaining about voices in his head, and he carved on the stock of his gun, this is my ELF weapon.